So this is going to be how 4 roofers got Aspen Home Improvement $200,000 in 2 months. In their worst 2 months of the year, they did $200,000 in 60 days with an 8% cost of marketing, and we are just getting started. So I'm going to show you what they were doing before, what we did instead, and how it brought in $200,000 and all of the data around it. Just for some background though, they already had good results before. We came in to make it better. All right, so we help roofers get $1 to $5 million a year on Facebook with a 10x ROI minimum. You can read our bio here. I'm the CEO and founder of 4 roofers, and yes, I'm in a closet. I like filming here and like working here as well. But back to them. Great company. They're awesome to work with. They have over 1,400 reviews. They've helped 10,000 clients. Been in business for a while. Family owned, and they're awesome. Before, they got a ton of leads, about 500 leads every single month, roughly speaking. And they got 30 appointments as well. And they got some sales as well, too. So about 4 sales in November and 1 in December. There's a little bit of inconsistency there, but the big thing that they were struggling with is scaling. They had good results, but they just couldn't get more of what they wanted. They also have other lead sources, radio, modernize, all that kind of other stuff. And so there wasn't really enough time to make new creatives, do the deep analysis that's necessary, etc., to scale the campaign like they needed to. It was a good campaign, just hitting a plateau. So we came in. They only had 3 ads running, one of which we actually created, a couple of video ads, an image ad as well. And we noticed that their hooks could be stronger. So we applied 2 hook strategies and 1 overall strategy. We applied the zoom out test where we want to understand what's happening in less than 2 seconds, and it should appeal to the homeowner in that time frame as well and stand out in their feed too. There's also some other hook things for hook strategies for videos, and then some other volume and variation that we wanted to do as well. You can read this here if you'd like to see. Now, Rico, actually just cut that part, and then I'm going to redo this part right here. There was also 4 hooks that we wanted to implement for videos. We don't implement all of them in every single ad, but we maybe want to use a combination. So it's what words are said, what sound is there, what title is shown, and what visuals occur. So we want to be hyper focused on that first half a second and first 3 seconds to hook our ideal audience. And finally, we have focused on a lot of volume, whether it be benefits, colors, homeowners, proof, offers. And so we really want to make sure that there's a lot of variation in what we're actually putting out. So over the next month, we went from 3 to 28 ads. And then ultimately, we hooked more people and more people clicked on our ads. Big surprise. If you're really into the data, you can look at it here. For example, we hooked 80% more people. We had a 33% higher click-through rate. All these other things. But the main issue was scale. So what actually happened there? This is what was happening with the leads before, and this is what happened after. We went from 500 leads there, and then ultimately, and then Rico, you're going to cut to this. We had 1,300 leads in January. And the main issue is scale. So what actually happened? This was their leads before. Again, it was about 500 leads a month, which isn't anything too bad, of course. But then in January, we did 1,300 leads. This is their appointments for 30 appointments every single month. And then we went to 73 appointments in January. Finally, their sales were 4 and 1 in December, and then in January they did 8 sales. And overall, the whole picture can be seen right here. Here's their leads, here's their appointments, and here's their sales from November to January. We came in January. Overall, with us, we had 2.6x the amount of leads month over month, 2.3x the amount of appointments, and finally 1.8x the amount of sales from the past 2 months combined. And that's not all. Then we focused in February on finding hidden inefficiencies. Most roofers just operate with these inefficiencies because we've talked to over 1,000 roofers. There's only 2 that we can recall actually having good data. So what happens is you're flying blind, losing tons of revenue that could be found if you had better data, and that's what we had to do. So we performed an ADA, an advanced data audit. We found that one of their 3 service areas that they were spending on was performing 2 to 3 times better in terms of their cost per sale. Pennsylvania was only $800, Maryland was $2,700, and West Virginia was $1,200. But you wouldn't have been able to see this and make the optimization without looking deeper into the data. Finally, we see that 2 of our ads were outperforming all of the others by 2x. It was a $76 cost per appointment, whereas the other ads were $163. That's the power of ADA. If you don't look deep into the metrics, you aren't able to see these very cost efficient. If you don't look deep into the metrics, it's impossible to see all of these different things that can make you a lot more efficient, save money, and make more money as well. These changes resulted in a much more profitable and scalable campaign, and in February, we ended up spending less money, but our cost per appointment went from $165 to as low as $90, and we went from 40 demos the month before to 44 demos in February. Not too bad. So in their worst 2 months of the year, again, they did $200,000 in 60 days with an 8% cost of marketing, and we're just getting started, like I said earlier. Here are some important takeaways for you guys at home. Number 1, focus on hooks. It's going to be really important. Attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. You need to hook your audience's attention. You can do this by making more and better ads. The more ads that you put out, if you're consistently making them better as well, it's impossible to win and become a top 1% advertiser on the platform. Get better data. You need to know what you're actually looking at, because what gets measured can then get improved. And you do that by going deeper into the data. What areas perform better? What ads? What messaging? All these various things. This isn't anything fancy. It's no AI, it's no new fad. It's just the basics, better than most, and that's one of our core principles over here at 4Roofers. Just the basics, better than most. If you want another case study on how we did 1.4 million in 3 months for another client, check it out right here. I'm going to link this case study here, and you can check out the other one in this document as well. Again, hooks, more better ads, better data, deeper into the data. Just do those basics better than most, and you will win.